Check. What's up, guys? Just waiting on my guest, Louis, to join in. Hopefully, this is the way to do it. Starting the podcast. Working on this technically. Podbean, thanks. Maybe we should let guests call in without having to download the app. That's a shout out. Let me get into intros while Louis is still connecting. Welcome to the Guinto Show. My name is Guinto. My guest today is Louis Monette, or Monet. I'll ask him once he's on how to pronounce his last name. This podcast is of excellent and expert analyses of various pop culture and societal topics with interviews and opinions. I'll be interviewing Louis Monette. Just getting a little bit of intros. We met through the Movie Trivia Schoedown Facebook page. Basically, hey Louis, are you on?
My earphones don't have sound on it. How are you?
There you go. Hey,
what's up? Oh, not much. Sorry for the delay, but I'm here.
Hey, it's all good. I can hear an echo.
Oh, okay. All right, this is not going like it planned. Give me a second.
Yeah, sorry, man.
All right, is the echo better?
It's coming from my end, so.
Oh.
Yeah, it's better, so it's all good.
All right. So thank you very much for having me, man.
Yeah, no problem. Just connecting with newer individuals and different topics. It's good to reach out. Let's get into how we met.
Yeah, well, basically, you approached me. We just posted forgot which one. I think it was Schmodown 9 Canada episode 2. And you just wrote, I want in. And from there on, I really saw the opportunity to start connecting with other Schmodown lovers who are active in the podcast world.
Yeah.
And I liked what you did for us too. If you have people who are listening to this right now, he's going to be on our next episode, giving his thoughts about Sheridan versus the Sniper versus Somerville. So don't miss that out.
Yeah, that was a dope opportunity for me just to talk about Schmodown and stuff I watch weekly, and I watched every match ever, even the Patreon matches. So, just connecting with other people, especially those in Canada like yourself. It's a good opportunity for me to get my fandom out there and my support for the community.
Hey, man, we got to band together because it's going to be a growing community, but we are the OGs of the Canadian Schmodown fans that are first putting their foot forward to try to get known, So we gotta help each other out for sure.
Yeah, it was dope. And yeah, just like I saw what you guys are doing and all your shows that you're putting out, it's really good to see. It's very encouraging and motivating, especially for myself, just to get my own content out there.
Well, in that case, we wanted to talk about a couple of things Schmodown related, our love to Schmodown and movies. Before we get into that, do you want to start with the whole dad thing, or you want to do that after?
Yeah, go into it, man. Get people to know you. Who you like? Well, I'm trying to get to know you too. So let's get into that.
My name is Louis. In the Schmoes of the North, they know me now as Louis the Frenchy Monette. I'm from Montreal. I'm a French boy. I'm gonna be a dad. First time dad in July. I gotta tell you, this is
congrats, by the way.
Thank you. Confirmed baby girl.
Nice, congratulations. Like I'm one of those guys that also would want a girl first, but hey, you're actually getting it done, so congratulations
Uh,
again.
Thank you, bro. She can be whatever she wants, but in my head, she's kind of a tomboy already, you know?
Yeah, that's
I,
good to hear that you're open about that. I mean, yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Like, how did you get like so comfortable with just, I guess, opening it up to any possibilities with your daughter?
daughter. Well, just a little background. I put a hold on it right now because of the kid, but I was starting to study in sexology.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to work with young kids on the street, and it's a very high percentage that they're LGBTQ now.
Yeah,
So I have a click with the younger generation when it comes to LGBTQ, and they seem to be comfortable to talk to me. And it's something I've been always comfortable with, and I don't judge, so it just came naturally. And I want to apply that to my daughter too. She can be whatever she wants. I don't care.
dude, that's awesome. That's good to hear. Yeah, like it's so. How did like is this frequent in like Montreal or Quebec that the percentage is that high when it comes to the community and homelessness that you mentioned?
Well, Montreal is a very interesting place. I mean, it's very open. We have our own gay village. There's a lot of support and parades and stuff. But it's also a very poor area for the poor people. There's very big extremes.
Right.
And a lot of them go in one area specifically, and it's hard. I've met a couple of them. I talked to them. Kept contact with certain people, and it's not easy. And it kind of like hurted my heart, and I wanted to help them.
Right. Well, what are your of course you're doing counseling you said or just any kind of um
That was the
help or
goal. That
okay.
was the goal. I want to do masters in LGBTQ youth and queer studies to also
Right.
do intervention.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I have like LGBTQ plus family members as well. And especially in the Filipino community, you're either really for it, where it's like super open, like especially in the Philippines, or you're the opposite, where it's like religion and religion takes precedent, and whatever it says in the Bible is like, hey, you're supposed to man and woman, and all that, right?
Mm.
So it's good that my family just accepted my family members that are part of that community, and like I treat them the same. Like I treat them like just regular people that I have fun with and engage with,
Mm.
and I just don't think of them as being
Yeah,
different in that kind of way.
they're
Or I
you
like to
see
think,
them you see them as individuals and not the tag that comes with it.
yeah, exactly.
Well, you see, that's what I want my daughter to understand too, because for me, like, it's open enough here that there's going to be people who are going to be against it, but I don't want her to feel abnormal or nothing, because it is just humans being themselves.
Right,
And for me, that's the future of our generation, accepting one another. And I don't know, I'm excited to be a dad, not just to teach that, but to understand what my dad went through too,
right,
because he how can I say, he's a very good dad. And now, growing older, I understand life. I have an appreciation for him, and I want to be able to do things to my daughter like he did to me.
right. When is your daughter due?
I'm sorry.
When is
When is
she?
she? 4th of July, actually.
Oh wow, summer babies. Like, yeah, I'm born in July as well, so yeah,
And
summertime is the best way to celebrate your birthday, I think.
yeah, there's a lot more activities. I'm March, so
Hey, that's right in the beginning. So
yeah. Well, usually St. Patty's and my birthday is pretty close.
Hey, are you? I mean, yeah. Are you the type to celebrate St. Patty's and like go all out,
Uh,
or?
Here's my celebration. It's been maybe 2 years we haven't done it, but usually it's me, my dad, cigar lounge watching UFC on his tablet.
Dude, that's an awesome party to me.
And usually I take either a 10-year-old whiskey glass or pub cider.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's cool because like every for the past 2 years since I started the podcast, like we would just get a bunch of Irish beer and whiskey and then do a podcast together drunk. So that's my thing for for St. Patrick's Day.
Nice. Yeah, we all celebrate in our own way. I like it comfortable and just two people. And
Yeah.
I've been to the bigger parties and they're fun, but I like it chill, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Too drunk, I can't communicate properly.
I
Uh,
imagine.
but yeah, going back to my daughter, and I'm proud to say she's gonna be a mixed baby, half Haitian, half Quebecois.
Oh wow! What kind of? I mean, can I ask what kind of Asian? I mean, I'm Filipino,
No,
so
no,
I'm curious.
Haitian. My bad, my bad.
Oh, Haitian. Sorry.
Yeah, not really the same thing, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said Haitian. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, yo, she's gonna be a mixed baby, and she's gonna already. We know she's gonna have a lot of hair. My girlfriend keeps puking and puking and puking, and usually when it's that bad, it means there's a lot of hair. You know?
Oh, that's the indicator. Wow,
Yeah,
I had no idea.
that's one of the doctors said it. So maybe.
But yeah, that's cool. Like, are you like? I mean, I assume you're both excited and nervous, right?
How can I say this? I'm in the middle. I mean, the at first it was a shock because both of us technically are supposed to be very low chances of having a baby. Her because of certain things, her medication, and me, uh, just physical problems of the past that didn't help. You know, so we weren't
Wow.
expecting it. We were talking like live in a week before, like, oh well, at least we'll have more money, and we can go more on cruises and do stuff, and that's the way it is. And then, bam, we go to the hospital. She had cramps, and then they said you're pregnant. I got up, thought I was okay, and then I fell to the floor.
Wow, that's insane. So it really was like just happened like that. Wasn't no pre-planning and such.
No, no pre-planning, no nothing. It's what we think basically is we were so compatible that, and it's a thing that when there's really good connection and understanding and communication, it actually helps balance the acidity and I forgot the opposite of acid, um, the alkalinity of both bodily functions. So it
Right.
really helps to be able to get pregnant.
Basically just like low stress is kind of like the idea, like being relaxed.
No,
Or
it counters the acidity of the woman chromosome or woman gene, and it
right.
helps the alkalinity of basically the sperm output. So there's a better
Oh,
chance to connect,
I see.
not get rejected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty awesome.
And but yeah,
Do you
so
have a name planned out?
oh yeah, well, the boy was already set. The girl, we have a hard time deciding. I want something, she wants something else. She keeps changing every 2 seconds. I keep sticking to the same one. On my end, I want Luna,
Yeah,
Luna. A bit for my love of Harry Potter, and I just love that name.
right.
And wow, I'm gonna look like a bad boyfriend. What's her name again? She wants. Oh yeah, Jade. She
Jade.
wants Jade.
Okay. Why don't you just give it both like two names?
I'm difficult on that, man. It has to have a flow. I can't just, stick two names together if I say it 10 times in a row and I still can't like click with it or flow properly in my mouth. I don't take it. And they're hard. Luna Jade, I don't find it flows good.
Because you can like LJ, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, how to really make sure your girl's a tomboy, you know? But
LJ Monet? That sounds pretty good.
Monette, first of all,
Monette?
if I can, yeah,
Sorry.
it's
Yeah,
like
before
it's
you
like
logged on, I was like, is it Monette or Monet? I'm sorry.
the best way I can help it, English people. It's like Mo from Simpsons.
Yeah.
You say Mo, and then you say the word net, as in a fishing net.
Ah, I see. Thank you for the clarification. Yeah. Sorry.
Hey, no problem, bro. But yeah, the only thing that stresses me is hers money. Me is just diving into it because I can adapt to a lot of things. I roll the punches most of the time. I don't pre-plan things, and I'm gonna have to start pre-planning some stuff. I have
Yeah.
no choice. So the change I have to do to myself scares me more. But I think I got this down. That I'm gonna do my best, and there's no rule book. You know, I had a good example with my dad, so
Right.
I can be safe. You know.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, because like whenever people talk about having kids, it's like it's not about you, like you as an individual anymore. It's about your entire family. So
Yeah, and but I'm so I don't know. I understand I understand what the responsibility is because even from young age, anything can change your perception, right? So the way you act, the way you do things, you have to be mindful of those things. And I am mindful, but I'm a very goofy person, you know.
right.
So there's a lot of things to think about. There's things I never pondered on before because I didn't think it was going to be a reality, and now I have to start pondering on it, and it changes your perspective, you know.
Yeah. Are you reading books, listening to podcasts, researching?
Yeah, a tiny bit, but it's more thinking to myself. I don't know, thinking to myself how I would communicate certain things, trying to see if she's more hyperactive, do we, let her be a bit, or do I stay with her? More about how I should adapt to her personality right off the bat.
Right. Are you and your partner discussing how that would be, or agreeing on how you would respond to that kind of thing?
Yeah, I have a couple of limits. Apparently, I can't. Walking around naked is not an option anymore. There's a couple of things she's like, nah, I love you to death, but this must change. So there's things I'm gonna that I won't mention on air either, but there's things I'm gonna have to definitely adapt, And
Right.
she put her word into it, and I definitely gonna adapt to what she needs and what I need because we both have different philosophies, but we joined in together. That I know if we disagree on something, give us a couple of days, we'll find a middle ground,
Yeah, compromise, right?
Oh yeah, the age-old key to make a relationship work as long as the compromise is 50-50.
Right.
Like
Hey,
it's my turn.
how long
It's
have
my
you been in a
turn.
relationship?
uh Going on 2 years now.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it came out from one of my relationships of the past, lasted for 8 years, and then after that I met her 2 weeks after, and we had to figure out if this was a rebound or not. I kind of knew her right away it wasn't. I was just so ready to live something joyful that
Yeah.
I just went into it, and she trusted me enough to try it. It wasn't easy at first because I am a interesting and difficult person sometimes,
Yeah.
and she could be too. But we just made it work, and that's why I have no problem having a kid with her because I actually see a future.
Yeah. Can I ask like how you guys met? Or
Yeah, just online. Like she actually made the moves. She liked this white boy, and she was like, I'm gonna write to him. And we
how
actually
did
talked
you
on
do
the
that?
phone.
How did you guys get
Huh?
connected? How did you get connected?
I think it's Bad Dude, like one of the connection sites.
Oh, I see. Yeah. That's
And
cool.
we talked about food for like 7 to 8 hours on the phone.
Like, how did the conversation go? Like, Like,
Uh,
what did you like?
I to be honest, it was such a blur and I was high as fuck that I know we talked about food, but please don't ask me the details. I don't want to lie on show. I don't remember. I don't remember half the fucking things I said.
Oh, really? You're that high, eh?
No, I'm just that kind of stoner. I have very low tolerance for TH. So I smoke a joint the whole day, but just the 2 3 puffs are enough to make my memory loss happen.
Hey, at least you got in a relationship to do that, eh?
Oh yeah, well, certain things are made to be, other things are not.
Right. How's your first date with your partner?
How can I say this? We actually, after talking about 7 to 8 hours on the phone, we actually decided to meet that night. So I actually went to bed, got up, did my things, met her on the first day, and I have I've been known to make connections feel like they've known me forever, even on the first day. So I
Right.
just made her very comfortable, and she made me very comfortable, and it just clicked. There's On the first date, I admitted I made her joke around things she never joked around, or you know things that she was shy or ashamed to say, but was funny. She never said before. I got her on the first day to do it, so it was
So
a
it's just
good
get her
combination.
comfortable with being uncomfortable, basically.
Exactly. I asked her like, what was the stupidest thing you ever did in your life, And I gave an example. She gave an example. The example she gave, don't ask me again, I forgot what, but I would have to re-ask her. But I knew it was really funny, and she would have never like said it before to a stranger like that.
Hey, man, they clicked right away what I'm gathering, so that's pretty awesome.
What about you? You single? Do you have anyone?
I'm single. If you've listened to I have 30 something episodes. You can see my relationship woes throughout. But to sum it
Okay.
all up, it's just I get into the process of having a relationship without having it actually be official, and it ends basically before that. So
All right.
yeah,
Yeah. You need to fine tune to find the perfect one to settle in.
exactly. I wish it was so easy that two people like each other and then they're just together. But I found obviously that's not how it works.
Nope.
No, and yeah, so that's been my thing for my life. That like I get really into somebody, we do the whole dancing and song and dance part, but then we never make it official, and then we just stop communicating after once it doesn't end up the way I expected, I guess.
And if it's not too personal, is it usually you that says, okay, this is not working, or her, or is it a mutual decision in average?
It's usually what I feel it is. It's my part that I either don't do enough to get it to the official relationship point, or it's just like I'm not into it. Um,
Hmm.
so I ended off. I'm pretty bad at this, but I just like stopped talking to them. It's basically ghosting. So
Yeah,
uh,
it's not the best thing to do, but if that's your defense mechanism, well, you have to work on it, but it is what it
yeah,
is, right?
of course, I know I have to work on it, but it's difficult. I mean, just yeah, it's basically really difficult. There's a few episodes that you could listen to that deals with that kind of stuff, like on air relationship stuff with the girl. But yeah,
Yeah.
just tune into those if you want to know more. It's more detailed and they're like a couple hours each. So um,
All right, definitely. If I have a second to breathe, because Schmoltz and North are having even more and more projects. We're looking. Oh man, it's great. If we can switch for a second to
yeah, go ahead.
the Schmodown shit. All right. So yeah, for those who don't know, it's Schmoes of the North. We are the official Canadian fan page for Schmodown and also Multiplex. You don't know what Multiplex is? We'll talk about that later. But yeah, we are digging out some content with Canadian members to really give Canada a voice in the world of Schmodown. So join us if you're not already.
Yeah, basically, we're fans of the Schmodown of SEN, Schmodown Entertainment Network. We watch Schmodown matches. Let's get into like what Schmodown is. Most people like I know personally don't know what that is, but yeah, maybe you could start off and then I'll join you in.
Yeah, well, basically, if to my understanding, the one of the ex-writers of WWE, Christian Harloff, had this epiphany of putting movie trivia as a sport, but taking the atmosphere and the seriousness of certain things as wrestling, but also having the end goal of the UFC. So it really is a mix of entertainment and intellectual sport that is focused on movies.
Yeah,
And I find that brilliant.
Yeah, like Christian basically took the model of WWE, incorporated aspects of the UFC in terms of the real matches and real outcomes, and fused it with the storylines and entertainment of the WWE.
Yeah, and it evolves so much that the hardcore fans are hardcore and there's new people coming in because it's kind of polished now.
Yeah.
And I think we come from a generation that just discovered it is rough format, but really enjoyed and could actually see the vision they were going for.
How did you start off? What was your first match?
Oh, like again, memory. Hey God, I know it was a Makuga one. Don't ask me which one, but I knew I saw Makuga. I'm like, yo, what the fuck am I watching? I'm like, okay, this is cool. Then I saw Finstock, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I got hooked because he intrigued me so much. So, and then I discovered the Dan Murrows. Kind of find him boring at first. I didn't really understand his dominance. I found him boring. Now I love him. And a couple of John Roca was another one that really hit me home.
Yeah. So your favorite competitor at the beginning, I guess. Let's get into that. Who was your favorite?
Character-wise, Makuga. I started really rooting even the pre Shazam time. I was rooting for Bibiani. I saw he wasn't a good heel, but honestly, I liked him enough as a personality. His growl thing made me laugh the first time I saw it. He's quirky. He has very intelligent humor that sometimes people don't get, and I'm like the only person laughing, you know. And I just liked him as a whole, and I saw him progress and get a championship and get even stronger. So I say he's one of my all times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm not a huge fan of.
Hello?
Weird in that. I know you love him. Hello?
Oh, give me a second. I have a connection problem.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, like I was saying, you like Bibbs, but I'm not a huge fan of Bibbs, if I could say that.
What is the reason? His character or his performances?
I think this goes back to this discussion of like if Bibbs is a heel or a face. For me, I just find like I like his. He's a really smart guy. Obviously, he's good at trivia. Everyone knows that. It's just that I think he comes across that he wants people to like him, which comes off to me like as desperate, and which causes me not to like him. That's how I built it up in my head.
He's an anxious man, right?
Yeah.
So, and I tend to attract anxious people. Don't ask me why. And I got to know anxious people, and once you get to know them, they're interesting. They're not easy to be with and to always hang out, but they're fun because they really have a different sense of viewing things. And I saw that right away with Bibbs. I get what you mean, definitely for people who, you know, don't get that kind of personality, they're very jarring. But for someone who, you know, can adapt to almost any type of personality, there's a lot of interesting things you can learn from those kind of people.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Like I know a lot of I'm in the minority where like I know a lot of people love him. I just can't do it. I understand he's a great player. I will give him that for sure. It's just just something irks me about him. That's just my thing.
Yeah, okay. It's a deep like inner feeling. It's not just it's what you cap from him, right?
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, so he's one of my faves. But also, I'm starting. For me, Tom is the greatest comic relief. Without no, not just character, comic relief, and that he's the complete opposite of Bibiani. He doesn't try at all. He rarely speaks because he only speaks when he has golden ideas. He knows people are gonna laugh like hell, and he started his character with an already fine-tuned, perfect character.
I know he's amazing.
And
I just I don't like that he's not with Video Drew because their dynamic is just perfect for what the Schmodown is in terms of both entertainment and skills. But yeah, I mean, what he did with Preston is, I love, like, even though they lost, obviously, but I like their beginning of their relationship, basically.
yeah, they seem to be able to adapt the storyline with Tom because he's not just a freak. They're actually putting him as learning certain things. And with Paul Preston, what they're gonna write in his storyline is gonna be interesting because they're so different. But Paul Preston looks so as goofy as Tom in his own character. So
Yeah,
that might just work out so much more perfectly because Video Drew was the opening of it. But let's be honest. She's a B level competitor. She's good, but she's
yeah,
not a top. And you could put him with a B and have an A leaguer too. But
yeah,
if you really want to dominate the league, you put him with Paul Preston. You adapt their personalities. You have a killer team right there. You know.
yeah. I mean, they scored over 30 in their loss, so I mean, you can see right there that they're an elite team already.
But and yeah, so Tom, I really like now. Uh, Bateman grew on me.
Yeah, we discussed this in our interview, or your interview with me. But yeah, what
Yeah,
do you think of Naaman?
um, Bateman. How can I say this? Bateman is the type of guy that fits perfectly with Finstock and Change because he has an ego, but he is reasonable. You know, he plays well the middle. I find.
Yeah,
And that goes good with Roca. That goes good with even Dan Murrow because if when they're able to show his sass, his more I'm annoyed side, which happens sometimes, it's beautiful. You got Riley that could definitely be much more of a heel this year. Because honestly, I remember the times that I forgot who interrupted his interview, but at one point he pushed him. I don't know if that was scripted or not.
it was Roca.
That was Roca. Huh? See,
Yeah,
that kind of like side, not pushing necessarily, but having a bit of that anger made Riley really interesting because I find him bland usually.
yeah, because
But you put
he likes
yeah,
to be
go
a
ahead.
straight guy, but then in that time when he pushed Roca, I mean, Roca deserved it. He was like it was interrupting everybody's interviews back then. But yeah,
And
love
you
seeing
could
that side of him.
and you could see I don't even want it in intros. I want him to do that when one of the managers of the other team does a challenge. I think you're going to see a side of him of being a bit more aggressive of like, hey, back out, you know, this is a good thing. Like having that anger when he's really not agreeing with someone is going to be an aspect he should play with.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like he has it in him to be like that. I think he should play it up because there's like Dan's already the straight baby face guy. So if Riley can just be that guy, but then with more aggression, That would be good for him because he's been like a straight babyface his entire Schmoedown career. So
Exactly, and having Finstock, it works. His shit work. His stuff works.
you can
And
swear it's all good.
okay, I wasn't sure. His shit works. So he grew into a tweener. Like they're I think the poster child of tweeners, the in between heel and face. They're
Yeah,
sometimes good, they're sometimes bad, but what they always are is awesome. You know, they have this like we are the top mentality. So Riley can really play on that.
yeah. That I mean, they have the belts to show that whatever they're doing works, and yeah, as long as you get your answers correct, you can be whatever you want. You can be a tweener, you can be a face, but they also showcase that their box office too for the Schmoedown. So
Oh yeah, they got a collection of the future retired like memorable not memorable the future retiree Hall of Famers. You
oh yeah,
know, they they know how to take care of the veterans that are doing good. You know.
yeah, exactly. Who do you see
Uh,
going up
yep.
against which faction?
As a main storyline for like in the Schmoedown for a
Or
rivalry type of thing.
yeah, yeah. Let's see who. Do you think Odd Couple's closest
Oh,
to
I know. I know which one. Usual Suspects.
Ah, yes, for sure, for sure, for
You
sure.
put Sam against Finstock. Whoo!
Yeah, exactly. Sam could take him for sure.
Because you need someone who's able to deal with Finstock's bullshit,
Yeah.
or Danilo, I should say, bullshit. And Sam is the master of being passive aggressive and meaning something. And it probably even is going to fly over Danino's head for like the first 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And then you have the family. Yeah, the family in the that faction.
Yeah. Having Guy and McWeeny
Yeah.
versus Bateman and Riley.
Oof. Tough.
Yeah, that's you can do a special event with just that match.
Oh, for sure. They should play off that actually because it's all the team action guys going up against each other, right?
Yeah, and also you have to give Riley an opponent. I mean, I kind of find McQueenie and Riley. How can I say this? They both need to play off another player. They
Oh
need
yeah.
more interaction and having more like rivalries because nothing's really been done with them storyline. Like it will always focus on Guy or always focus on someone else, but you don't see them usually drive the narrative.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, this goes back to their personalities too, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Just the having Bateman and Guy, those guys with the powerful characters, it's kind of hard not to gravitate the storylines to them, right?
No, that's true. But it's been done. That's what I'm saying, though. So maybe focus on the other side, not to an extent to being major storylines. I like when they did McQueenie being serious with Tad and telling his
That was
things, but
fun.
it never really led to anything, right?
No, it didn't.
So I would like them to do that. We have like a 0.5 of a storyline. Give us the other 0.5. You don't have to give us volume one. Just give us 0.5.
I mean, there's been a lot of storylines that have been dropped, right? So I don't know where Christian like what happened there. Or I don't know what's the deal. Just like this
Yeah,
whole
well,
Sikorsky and what's her name? Brienne Chandler storyline that they just dropped.
life. I guess those are moments of life happens.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
they're betting on someone winning, so they start doing a storyline with them, and it dropped. And I think they're gonna probably change the way they're doing storylines because you can't always put that chance. You have storylines who just don't work anymore, right?
Oh, exactly.
So they're probably we're gonna see a lot less of that because they probably have a better way of approaching storylines.
Yeah, I think it's with the whole factions now. They can deal with mostly because I think they're banking on all the managers always being there, so it's going to be more manager related storyline
Mm,
rather than
mm.
players themselves. Because what there are 90 players, and you can't have storylines for everybody. I assume.
No, it's true, but anyways, this is what I would do if I was Christian Herloff, and I'm definitely not. But at the same time, I would love to have like 75% of storylines or like the overall storyline to be 100% with the managers, but to drive the narrative, you use maybe 25% of your players and 75% of your manager
Oh
to
yeah,
do the driving of the storyline. So
yeah,
you have interaction with the players, not just the things that happen to the manager, because whatever you do to your players will affect your manager no matter what, you know.
yeah. That's true. Have you had interactions with Christian?
Not Christians. I can't divulge who we're contacting, who we have uh, in
Insider knowledge.
process. I can't do insider knowledge right now, but I'd say there's around 4 people, no, 3 people, I should say, that we have good contact with, starting to open up some doors, and it's gonna just grow. It's really just gonna be, how can I say this? Our purpose of Schmoes of the North is to be the Schmodown page, but for Canadians. We're not dedicated to one faction, right? So we want to be a central hub for Canadian content. And now that the managers are kind of banned a bit of putting too much things on the official webpage, I
That's
think some of them are they're gonna see that they can do it with ours, you know?
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. Has been there a lot of interaction with the other official fan page with the Schmodown?
We're starting. We have a plan in hand to really uh, hammer out our presence in the fan pages because right now, and I do it myself. I'm not that active, but I know I can be more active. So we're setting out a plan to make sure that we're a bit everywhere in the next maybe 3 months.
Right. What yeah, what are you posting and getting out there that um will garner more Canadians to come to the page, I guess.
Well, what we're trying to do is, basically doing the usual recruit posts, but also grow our community in a way that we're gonna get some references, where we're gonna get people who are not Canadians that watch our show and be attached to our personalities, be attached to our inside jokes. So
Yeah.
the more we grow our content video wise, and the more we just post out and hammer a plan to get really interesting posts and interactions with our members, everything is gonna grow by itself.
Yeah, just getting more content out there and inviting people to join these videos, these chats, these podcasts like we're doing right now. Yeah, I find that's the way to get everybody involved and join.
Exactly, because the market of Schmodown is so vast. If you really think about it, um, that now there are amateur things that's starting to pop up, like our things, like my thing, and you touch Schmodown, you're trying to get a bit into it too. It's starting to pop, and there's so many competitors out there that are not being covered, or they're used to their partners being always asked, but not them, because there's only 2, 3 real ones, and who do you go for? The superstar. We want to make sure that everyone's covered. That you might not know them now, but there's still a presence in Schmoedown. And I don't know about the rest of the population, but I know us in Montreal, we are a big fan of like the underdog. So we like those minor storylines.
Yeah. Oh, I'm up for that too. All the guys that we wanted to cheer for. Like Chandru is a huge guy I'm really into. I think he's just super funny. That's why, and I love his dancing. That's why big support of that guy.
Yeah, he's so chill. He is so chill. Anyways.
Any other competitors like in specific with the underdog story?
Um,
I'm a big Scrimshaw guy too for Star Wars division.
Yeah, Scrimshaw. I don't know. I like him, but to do an underdog story with Star Wars is kind of hard because it's so rare we get one. But if there's one person that Star Wars you want to do an underdog would be Scrimshaw because he's so likable.
Yeah, for sure.
But on my end, yeah, there's one. There's one person I want them to have a good comeback and have a bit more of a presence. BF underdog like their faction and you can be a mouth on it or competitor wise like the matches and everything. I want to see on Draco.
Oh, and Draco. Yeah.
I always love the dude. The dude is so different and so mellow, but you can't help loving him. Yeah. And I want him to be really more showcased this year if possible.
Oh yeah, he's low key one of the funniest competitors. He always has these quirky quips. He has like asides when he competes, like things that people don't notice that I find super funny. But yeah, I love that guy.
And yeah, so him, I don't know, like I can't really think of anyone else, right? Is there anyone that yeah, okay, I kind of know too. I want Makuga to beat out Dewberry. I want Makuga to see that he's fine alone, that his old faction, his old team was fun, but he can move on to other things and be as entertaining, you know?
Oh yeah, I find him super entertaining without Dewberry. It's that like when it comes to singles, he's definitely gonna lose. That's the thing. And I think Dewberry gives them a chance to win. That's my thing when it comes to partnering them two up.
Now, I don't know how open that person wants to be with that knowledge, so I'm not going to mention who or where you can find it. But someone did ask if anyone would be interested in a pair up with Makuga, and for me, it made sense, and a lot of people supported it. So there's potential to have two even more awesome teams if you add in Dewberry with someone else that matches with him perfectly. You can have double the old team, but in new forms, you know?
Right. Yeah. What, you can't give away this? Where do I find this information?
Okay. It's on one of the pages, like I said. That I can't, right, because these are things, right, I would have to ask for next time I have conversation. I have to ask what I have permission to do or not, because I want to keep a good communication with my contacts. So before I go official on certain things, I would have to verify with them. But right now, I'm just giving you a small preview, good sir. These are things you're gonna have exclusive on your show next time. Maybe.
Right. I see.
But yeah, so there's other potentials that could happen, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Makuga is such a good personality, and you need those kind of people in the Schmoedown just to keep it light and not like always nerve wracking and serious.
Yeah, you need a comic relief, Even in wrestling, you got teams that they're not gonna go far, but they're fun to watch,
Yeah.
And you keep bringing them out when you need some levity. For me, the real rejects have the same purpose, but it could surprise people too. But they have the same purpose a bit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Greg Aller is so funny. His entrance at Free for All was one of the best entrances ever.
Could you remind me what that was?
He came out to Stars Board, and then he pissed his pants.
Oh, wow. I do not remember that.
Oh my God, it was so funny, and he stayed in character the whole time. Oh my God, I was dying.
And to have them with the quirky mercs, that fits.
Oh, for sure. Koi, that faction could also be dangerous if, yeah, they could be dangerous for sure. Even though they were coming off a loss with the Bibbs and the kid, but you're against Dan Merle, so
Yeah, no, it's true. I don't know. No, anything can go in faction wise. Look right now in the points. The Den is at 4 points. They're dominating. It's only 2-1. But who would have thought freaking Sheridan would get a match? So there can be surprises. Your B players and C players, if they're able to rack up a bit of points, it's like in hockey, right? Your third line and fourth line, you're not expecting them to score. But if your fourth line produces like 5 goals in the last 10 matches, you're happy, and that makes you go to the playoffs.
that's true.
So if Den is able to get that and have a good production from their main teams, and any faction for that case,
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, what do you think? Like, I guess you saw the Sheridan Somerville match, obviously, right?
Yeah, I would. Well, this I'm gonna repeat myself a bit on the show, but hey, it's gonna last 5 minutes on the other show, so I guess I don't mind. My thoughts on Somerville and Sheridan is I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting to be intrigued. I had a feeling that Sheridan would have been a natural comedic, type of player. But I did not expect what I saw. Like him hitting his first, not, round or his first point and him being so excited made me laugh so much. And when he won, Dave said it in the show, he looked like he's a kid that won like the pot of candy in a carnival with guessing the numbers. He was so excited.
I loved it. I loved it.
And let me tell you, I think he's going to take this shit seriously. He's not going to win every match, but I have a feeling that he's going to get involved and be respected as a mouthpiece, be that motivational guy for the Den.
Yeah, like Harloff said in the post, he's like, he sees Sheridan actually taking this seriously, studying, and he could rack up points. He's not going to do terrible in matches. He could lose, but he won't do terrible.
He's going to be in the same vein as Makuga, personally. Yeah. Like, he has knowledge. If he studies, he has retention of memory, so he can maybe, because I think now the studying is structured in a way, I know they don't talk about that much, but there's ways to be not that sucky. If you know a bit what movies, if they give you a list of potential movies that could be asked questions, and you do a bit your studying, you can win matches even though you're not a top tier quality player,
Yeah, that's true. At the end of the day, it's like the faction with the most points wins something. You might not have any belts, but there's still a prize at the end.
Definitely. Look, if you don't mind, could we go to now? Because I'm curious. There's a couple things I want to talk about the movie wise, like inspirational movies and shit.
Yeah, get into it. What get you started in loving movies?
The love of movies is an interesting question to me because for me, I was born with movies and they're always present. For me, at first was like just Disney stuff. I grew up in a very religious household, so we stuck a lot of family stuff and Lion King and let me. I don't have the notes with me. Homeward Bound. The really classic '90s family is my life. Then when I started, rebelling into religion a bit, and I start working at a Super Club Videotron, which is a movie rental place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just discovered the more serious things, and like at first, Quentin was like the best shit ever. Reservoir Dogs just like blew my mind. It was.
Yeah.
I didn't get it at first, but at a second watch, I was like, "Yo, I understand the message now. I understand what Quentin was going for." And I fell in love with it. What about you?
Yeah, like you, I grew up watching movies. And, like my dad watches movies all the time. He still does. Like, but yeah, so I watched all the kids stuff, all the video game stuff. Like I remember loving Double Dragon. Have you seen that?
Mm. My mom wouldn't let me watch it because it was too kung fu-ish and too much violence.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
My dad and my uncle, they're always watching kung fu stuff. Like I remember watching all the Godzillas, like even the black and white ones. I watched King Kong, all the kung fu movies, like all the shitty movies that like people hate now, like Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat.
No, not everyone hate. Like Mortal Kombat has a place in a lot of people's hearts, man. It's the campy awesomeness that we should get more often these days, I find.
You think so? I think Venom did that.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, you know what? And that's why a lot of people love it. It's either you love or you hate Venom, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's what they tried to did, and it worked. And I would love to see that more because it won't be multi-billion box office, but there is still a market for that shit. You just give it a lower budget, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing. You're either independent or you're large budget films. So that's the thing when it comes to movies like that. Because the newest Mortal Kombat is going to be over 100 million, I assume, in the budget.
And that's what I'm afraid of, because you really gotta. And I think it's a first time director, so I have a feeling he's just the scapegoat for the studio heads' ideas. And I don't know, who's producing it. Warner Bros. Universal.
Not sure actually, but I know there's like they had him on Collider, one of the producers, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, not too sure about who produced it and such. But anyways, yeah, it's just the first movie I thought like loving movies and want to get to like film, like studying it and really delving into how things are made was A Dark Knight for me. Yeah, I just really discovered late in life that just getting into movies like more than just as entertainment, more as like art, if you can say that.
Yeah, that it changed the way you saw movies, and it connected and made you resonate in a way that no other movie has resonated with you in the past.
Yeah, like I watched that. Like I remember specifically, like I bought the movie when it first came out, like on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it for a week straight, like every day.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I just started watching all of Nolan's movies, and then I got into Tarantino and Scorsese, and then I discovered Schmoes just randomly because like I found that the Celebrity Impression Dating Game. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I forgot the guy's name, but the guy who can do Robin Williams and a couple other people perfectly. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Dude, like that's how I got into Harloff and Ellis, and yeah, ever since, just because I randomly came across this celebrity impressions from them.
Yeah, on my end, the movies that really it blew my mind. I didn't know movies could be that. Was Old Boy from Park Chan Wook.
Oh man, yeah, love that movie.
That movie shook me so much. It's such a dark movie, but I think I've seen that movie over 50 times.
Really, I've seen
Oh,
it 3 or 4 times, just because like it's kind of gratuitous, right? So I kind of like I can't watch it too many times, but yeah, I love that movie.
because and it's one of those movies you watch it multiple times, and there's things you understand after. You're like, oh, that's why they put that scene. That there's so much. It's the perfect movie to pick if you're in cinema, studying cinema. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And the I mean, they ruined it when doing the American remake, which was a travesty. But
I'm sorry, you must be living in another dimension because in my dimension, sir, that one does not exist.
dude, I like when do you want to get into it, or are we just not gonna? We're gonna
No,
go.
that's for a whole different show. We can talk an hour about that, bro. But
Anyway,
no, let's not get into it because I wanted to discuss about other movies. Another movie that really blew my mind, and my dad's like, "Oh my god, that was depressing." How many times did you watch this? I'm like 10. Is Requiem for a Dream.
oh my god, I haven't watched that movie fully after the first time, so like I just it was too much because like, I think it came out when I was a kid, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I was I was what 19, no 18 when I saw it, and it was my first exposure to not always happy things, but to see the dirtier side of life.
Yeah,
And there's something so poetically beautiful about Aronofsky's way he saw the movie that it was hypnotizing to me. It was dark, but I didn't mind the darkness. I wasn't dwelling in the darkness, but it was really interesting to see that perspective because it was a perspective I've never really seen before.
yeah, just the exposure of those elements, right?
Exactly, to understand it and digest it, not be afraid of it, just having the philosophy of what is this movie really about? I've never really been around drugs much. I was very shielded from those kind of things. So it's interesting to see what humans that I'm not, usually familiar, like the what kind of people I'm not usually familiar have to go through to just make their lives bearable.
Exactly. I mean, that's what Aronofsky plays with that in all his movies, right? With the
Yeah.
different effects and visuals, and um, like a movie like Mother is just like it's what's happening, but that's Aronofsky for you.
Yeah, he's a very broken individual, and that brokenness really lends well to certain films he does. Sometimes it's like, okay, that was like one movie though that a lot of people shits on, and I actually got what he was going for because I lived in a very religious background, but I'm out of it. Was Noah?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I respect that movie because it's different. And at the end of the day, movies are just storytelling, and in the director's eye and the screenwriter's eyes is different telling of a story. So
Exactly.
I
But
mean, a lot of religious people came after that because it didn't stay true to the Bible story. But this is all art at the end of the day, and it's all perspective. So let people like Aronofsky take stuff like Noah and do what he wants with that story. So
is there a historical moment in the world that you would like Aronofsky to cover? I would love to see a Roman type movie with Aronofsky.
a Roman type, just like all
Yeah,
like shields and swords era.
yeah, like the Emperor, and there's a lot of he builds on the dark side of humanity, right? And there's a lot of
Get him to
dark
do
side in the Roman times. Uh,
Alexander the Great.
what?
Get him to do Alexander the Great again.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, yeah, you have a good point there. That's one story that got butchered.
Oh, dude, that movie was rough.
But yeah, so for the movies that really shook me to the core, those are the two major ones I usually reference to. Um, and then I start just like really diving deep in a lot of things. I tend to like the Marvel stuff, etc. But I have a dark side in that. I like watching things that make you think and make you really, uncomfortable. Like for me, the Joker that came out in 2019 was my kind of superhero movie, or my kind of comic book movie, I should say.
Yeah, that's my second favorite comic book movie.
It you know what? Oh, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, Joker felt we were talking about that. Felt like Aronofsky did a comic book movie.
Oh yeah, that's what I
If
thought
you think
too.
about it, yeah.
It's so messed up, and the subject matter is so relatable. Um, yeah, it's nothing like I've ever seen, and it's Joaquin's performance. Like when I came out of that movie, I was like, "Wow, this is like one of the best acting performances I've ever seen."
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I came out of the movie and I felt sick, not in a way of disgusted, but it forced me to think about things that are hard to think about, and it gave you it gave me such an impact of distress and at the same time amazement of what I just saw.
Yeah, yeah, I got the same feeling too. It just like makes you think about how the real world actually works and how relatable that is, and the true nature of what that movie reflected in real life. Yeah, that's what I felt. Same thing. That these issues are actually real.
Joker sequel, yes or no, sir?
um, this is a lame action. This is a lame answer, but they could do it because it makes sense that they could do it. It's anybody could write a follow up to that movie. I think, even though it doesn't need to, they could. People are so smart these days when it comes to that. It
I
could be.
say yes, but if it comes from the mind of the actor and director only. If it comes from because it came from them, right? This discussion, a point of view, and the story came from that, right? So if they do that, and for them it makes sense and it ties into the first one perfectly, yeah. If it comes from just the studio saying, "Okay, we put a writer, here his idea," unless it's so genius that the actor and the director have been like, yeah, why didn't we think of that? Unless it's that moment, you don't do a sequel though.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. But I think, I mean, you can see that. Walk. I think there are rumors that he is into doing that, right?
Well, yeah, if the idea sticks, like if the haha moment they had for the sequel stays haha moment and it's golden, and yeah, if it brings an angle we haven't seen of Joker before, but it fits within the story or the vibe they were going for the second one. Because think about it, they're not attached to anything DCU, right? So
No.
technically, you could do the same character, but put in a different, because DC has Earth 55, Earth 60, Earth. So you can do another version of the Joker with the same actor, and if it fits, you never know. You might get a whole new type of way of explaining the background of a character, on movies.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they're making a direct sequel from the Joker, I see it like he is like create like his influence creates more anarchy and more problems rather than solving the problem he had initially, and then they can
Mm.
solve that because he is locked up at or he's running around the facility at the end. But yeah, he could still be locked up, and then I don't know. Maybe people break him out. I don't. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure.
An Arkham Asylum movie without Batman, just Joker causing chaos in the mental institute
Could be
would
done.
be an interesting thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Huh.
because You know, there's a lot of fucked up DC characters out there. So
Who would you like to see either as principal to make the storyline work for Joker? Is there someone or a character, I mean, that you think that can really build off of and that would fit the Joker universe?
I think prior to Birds of Prey, not Harley Quinn would be the natural, but they wouldn't do that. I think. Um, uh, Maybe another side of Two-Face could be good, or the Riddler.
Mm.
The
Well,
Riddler could be.
we know the Riddler's gonna be in the new Batman movie too.
I know. I mean, they could have. I mean, there's a lot of Jokers already, so they can have whatever. A lot of Riddlers too. So.
No, true, true. Me personally, would love to see Mad Hatter.
Oh yeah, that could work.
Like, yeah, like not necessarily he's able to control people, but he's a mastermind of manipulation and making the other person do things for him. He's a master manipulator. They could do something interesting with him and Scarface, the guy holding the puppet.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, there's so many good DC villains that could work out with the Joker, but maybe just put in. I don't know. They can make Bruce Wayne, not Bruce Wayne. Thomas Wayne, bad dude. They can make him evil. More evil than he was. Actually.
What you could do is because there is a storyline that Thomas Wayne was Batman, right? So if you set that,
in Flashpoint.
Exactly. If you take that idea of you don't involve Flashpoint in it, but you just involve instead of Bruce Wayne being Batman, you have Thomas Wayne being Batman, and you do the storyline of the second one that he actually kills Bruce Wayne, and then you got a new Batman. There's so much things you can do with that.
Right.
Because you need a Batman. Sorry.
Didn't Thomas and Martha die in the Joker though? Now that I think about
it. True. Yeah, I'm high. Yeah.
Oh well. We're just playing it off right now.
Hey, DC, if you're listening to us, in 20 years, we can write a new movie for you.
They're going to make movies for the rest of our lives. We'll have 30 Batman by then.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. I'll secretly put it in my child's brain, and she'll write it eventually.
But yeah, what are the most recent movies have you seen in theater?
In theater, give me a sec. I'm gonna have to reference The Girlfriend for that. Amor, c'est quoi le dernier film qu'on a vu au cinéma? It's been that long. No, we've been that long. No. Okay, so me was the Joker. Before that, what did we see? All right, so I'll get back to Yonda. Oh, what? Oh yeah, it was Han Solo. Fuck my life.
Really?
Yeah, because by myself it was the Joker. Before that was Han Solo.
That's been a while, man.
Oh yeah, there's also Far From Home Spider-Man I saw.
Oh yeah, summer.
Yeah, but I doubt anyone in the Bureau of Copyrights is listening to this right now. So I torrent my shit, and that's how I get my movies.
Wow, you put that out there. Okay. Yeah. Hey man, that's cool. That's cool.
But so I don't often do it. But to be honest, it's for times I just need to unwind, or I need to not be spoiled things. I can't always, it's not always an easy life. A lot of expenses and shit. I don't often do it, but when I do it, it's because je me gâte. I'm putting a bit of me time into it.
Yeah, that's good. That's true. I mean, you find your way to get caught up with these movies.
Yeah, like right now, I need to watch Parasite. Like, I don't want someone spoiling because apparently it's so amazing that I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I don't even know it's still playing in cinemas. If it is, it's not playing near my house. You know.
Dude, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
On a scale of 1 to 10, for you.
I'll give it an 8.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the best movie
Yeah.
I've seen this year, but
And does it hold up to his other movies?
my favorite of his was probably The Host.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little under. I think Snowpiercer and The Host are better than this movie. So
Which one is? You see, I didn't like Snowpiercer. Oddly enough.
really, I thought it was
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't know. It just I didn't click into the vibe.
Right. What threw you off?
I don't know. I think it's just the way the story was told and the way it was shot that it didn't grab my attention enough. It's like it's a movie if I watch it because it has to grab my attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I at the first 10 minutes I don't connect, I have a hard time, you know?
Right. But yeah, like I think it's a good movie. I mean, I think people are just hyping it too much that they're creating expectations for it.
Mm.
So
Is there a good twist and shit or
I don't even think it's a twist. It was just a progression of a story.
okay, so there's no big twist.
I don't think people. I know the twist they're talking about. I don't think it's a twist though. Like a twist to me would be at the end of Split. That's a twist.
Okay. Do
But
you
this,
consider Old Boy to have twists?
pardon?
You consider Old Boy to have twists?
Oh, that's a twist.
Okay, so I was just verifying your meter of what twists mean, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's disappointing. See, thank you for telling me that. At least I won't expect something like it because in my head a twist, something big was gonna happen, you know?
No, I don't think it's that big. This is not Darth Vader coming out of saying he's his dad.
Which funny you talk about that. That's one thing I saw on you on Facebook, and I'm like, huh, that is so true. I can finally see someone and make them watch a movie and they don't know that twist.
Which Vader?
Yeah, Vader about being father because they haven't seen it before, right? They don't know unless there's a lot of people around them talk Star Wars. They
Right.
won't know that twist coming.
Oh yeah. Like only big Star Wars guys know about that, or I don't know, big movie people. Or I bet you people still don't know the twist of what is that called? What's it called? I See Dead People. What's it called? Help me out.
Hmm?
The movie I See Dead People.
Wow. Okay, I look like a stoner. Sixth Sense. Yeah, Sixth Sense.
Jesus. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people still don't know that twist.
Oh yeah, but I'm sorry. That's one of those twists that is so. Again, my child maybe not, but especially in our time, everyone knows that twist. But again, you're right. My child won't know that. And that's what I realize. Now I can show my kids when they're like 10, 12, 11, 13, whatever the age is. If I can show a movie and they find the excitement I found when I was younger, that for me is a bonus that I didn't think about, you know?
Yeah, when so 10 years old is the start of the sixth century.
No, like I'm lenient. I think I'm be lenient on certain things. I would show maybe my 10-year-old. Not sure. More serious things, like historical things too. Like I wouldn't mind showing my daughter, yes, it's violent, but it's an interesting story, especially because it's going to come from her heritage. Things that about slavery and the things that happened in the past. That would be interesting to show what her people went through. Stuff like that, I probably show her at 10, 11, 12 for her to get really anchored with what her roots are,
Oh yeah, just history, right? That's important.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, especially
And
like schools, they'll start doing that much earlier, I assume too.
I sure hope so, because Canada, we're a country of inclusion and we're trying to do it the proper way. So I find it's the proper way to educate your ancestors and um, other cultures' history that you might not be, you know, live in or surrounded by all the time. But it's still important to know because that's how you respect, and that's coming from an understanding, of that culture.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really good for you to have that opportunity sooner than later, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially we need those kind of kids now to save our Earth. We have no choice. It's a joke, but at the same time, it's true.
Yeah. Once you have your child, like you'll be downloading torrents all day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. But there's a lot of things I have to think about when it comes to child. And movie wise, I think I'm gonna bond with my girl with movies and stuff like that, like my dad did with me. No, I should say my mom did with me.
Yeah.
And later on, my dad. Like I remember, I went to see the second Matrix with my dad in cinema.
Oh yeah, I remember those days too.
Yeah, back in the 2000s, bro.
What'd you think about it at the time? Did you like the movie or not?
I was confused. I was just I was, in a good confused way because I didn't get really into the storyline after because I realized what it was. But it left me with questions, and I'm a type of guy. I'm like my dad. You put a riddle out there, and I'll be like, I must understand the philosophy and the deeper meaning of this moment. I really dive deep into the significations. I write poetry.
Right.
And that made me question a lot of things. And when he gave the answers a bit in the third one, I was like, oh, really? Okay, well, this was a waste of like brain energy.
They deliberately wanted to confuse you with that dialogue.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, this is like the Wachowski siblings thing now. Like at first, I mean, they were like revolutionary, obviously, but then once they started to do more and more movies, they're like, oh, this is their style.
well, there's one thing they went unnoticed, and I was mad. I forgot the name of it right now because again, hi. But their Netflix show about people able to communicate with other people, and they featured a trans character. They featured diversity completely from across the board, and the story was really interesting. Huh?
Sense8, so it was called.
Yeah, that was so underrated, and I was so pissed they canceled that show.
Oh, this is like when Netflix was on a cutting spree when it comes to their shows.
Mm.
I think they were just a victim of that.
Yeah, and it sucks, but they still have potential.
What do you feel about the newest Matrix?
Again, I'm all for if the creators have a aha moment or someone brings a aha moment that the creators are like, why didn't we think of this? I find it's a good idea, but the creative mythology, don't erase the mythology, but perfect it. Make the average man understand it a bit more because there's a lot of things thrown in, but a lot of things never really satisfied the answer.
Yeah.
So give us a bit more clarity and give us something to want more is what I'm asking.
Yeah. I mean, they're bringing back Neo, so I don't know in what form, but that should be interesting.
Well, there's so many things you can do, right? You can put another Neo, like the code is back because if I understand correctly, he's an error in the algorithm that he has to the code always has to come back, right? So it's a bit like being chosen, but it's a computer that does that. If you explain how that code got created, or if you bring back Neo as like the new code, but why does he keep his same image? Usually it goes to someone else. That kind of thing, if they play with that, you further on dive deep in the mythology of it. I find it would work. If they just do something for the visuals and the storyline is weak, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's so much they could do with the Matrix lore, right? Because when it comes to, because it reflects actual computers and real life, basically, and just whatever. Like you can do anything with that lore. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. But yeah, let's just cross our fingers, and I think Keanu aged well with time with his selections too. That I don't think he would do a project of that much fan love and be that disappointing,
Oh, that's true. Like he's beloved now, so I mean, there's.
Yeah, and he's a good Canadian boy too.
I know it's dope.
But
if you want to get into multiplex stuff and other
yeah, for sure. I'm guessing not a lot of people know about this multiplex. It's a bit like what we talked about the Schmodown, but it's really created by everyday people who don't have access to big studios. They do it over cam, and they really dedicate themselves in putting on content for normal movies and also the more geekier things, the lore, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, but they do it in a way that it's so fun. You get these personalities that are so lovable or so hateable, and they really, yeah, it's true though. It's they really got down to finding interesting people, and it's starting to get bigger and bigger. And I'm new to this. I'm discovering the league. I'm enjoying everything I see, and I'm starting to get favorites and people. I'm like, oh man, I don't like him and storylines, and so it's fun to be involved with something that's growing as well. We Schmoes on North are still a bit smaller than them, but we're getting soon to their level in like subscription wise and stuff like that, right? So to work side by side with an organization that wants to see us do well and we want to see them do well is so refreshing. It feels good to have.
Yeah, it's good. Like I was watching this morning, and yeah, a lot of people know their shit, and the hosts are funny dudes. So yeah, everybody just subscribe to Multiplex Entertainment. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's Multiplex Entertainment. They have multiple shows. Their specialty, or their two biggest things, I should say, would be the Warzone movie, which is basically their normal, almost every movie type of trivia. Then you got Fandom. It's like I said, the geek things. And they got things like top 10 lists, but done in a way that is funny and adds a lot of commentary to it. And they have a debate show for music. They have a couple other projects coming up. So there's a lot to dive into. If you're not just about movies, they do other stuff too. So there's something for everyone.
Yeah. How involved are you with that?
How long have you been involved?
Yeah.
I'd say around from almost the first week I created Schmoes on North.
Oh wow, you guys discovered each other, or you discovered them just right away?
Someone from the group joined in, posted, this is Multiplex, blah blah blah, and I had my haha moment that we have to be associated to a smaller league to start merging our subscribers a bit. To make sure that we grow and they grow and we grow. So I have a lot of those like little business moments that I say, this is an opportunity. Let's jump into this, like I did with you. that you applied it, and I saw uses that you can probably contribute to our organization, you know?
Oh yeah, that's dope, man. Just helping each other grow. That's just the way how community works, basically.
Exactly. And I don't know, then it started from there. I started talking to Caleb, one of the showrunners, and it just clicked. He helped us do our first Ready Set Multiplex. He'll be hosting tonight with me. Dave, has life that happens. So Caleb is going to be back on the show. We are interviewing Mr. Brooklyn himself, one of the showrunners, and a man with a lot of opinion. So, so it's going to be a fun watch. Huh?
Is that going to be live? Is that going to be?
Oh no, we don't do live no more because the internet gods don't like us. So we're not taking chances. Yeah, we've had a lot of bumps in the roads. But for right now, we're doing it. We're gonna probably post the Ready Set Multiplex. So far is on Fridays. We might move it to Thursdays, but so far it's gonna be on Fridays.
Okay, yeah. Is that Multiplex Entertainment on YouTube?
Yeah, Multiplex Entertainment on YouTube, exactly.
Okay. Any other platforms that's on, or just strictly on YouTube?
I would have to double check. I think I saw somewhere that they're on Spotify and a couple other podcast shows. I don't know if they're updated. I don't know if they're currently, working on adding everything. So I don't know the status of it, but I think they're on other platforms such as Spotify.
Right. How about Schmoes of the North? Any scheduling happening? Any videos coming out soon? I know the episode I'm featured is coming out soon, right?
Yeah, we had to push our. We're not going to mention who, but we have an interview. I was supposed to do today. That person had some trouble, not trouble, but some delays. So we're actually doing on Wednesday. So we're looking to post a show either Wednesday night or Thursday in the morning.
And this is on Schmoes of the North YouTube?
Yeah, on Schmoes of the North YouTube. And we'll also be posting a link to a lot of the faction pages into our pages too, if you don't want to search.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Have everything integrated yet?
Oh, yeah, well, you got to have a plan, like the without sounding mean, certain fan pages need someone to build out structure and get involvement and activity on the thing. So it's just normal for me. If I see a need, I'm going to create a structure around it and try to help those pages get more active.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're constantly posting and getting things out there. So, I mean, that's great having you represent the North for us. So,
and say thank you to weed, because at one point I was smoking a big ass blunt and it just came to me. You must create a fanbook page dedicated for Schmoedown fans in Canada. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And then I realized, fuck, I'm the first one. And then it just fucking started from we're 118 in 2 months. And no, not 20 now in 2 months. And we already have 2 shows and people dedicated. So thank you, weed. You got me a haha moment that I needed and Canada needed.
Yeah, man, that's also what you're doing for the Schmoes fans in Canada for sure. Because hey, my brother and I stumble across it. Oh shit, let's join it. There you go. Now we're here.
Yes, sir, and it's much appreciated. And thank you again for be willing to interconnect our stuff. It's just but the beginning, Mr. Carr. We have a lot of things planned that I'm gonna slowly reveal. The way we're working is I'm using what Harloff did and what Feige did. Right now we're in phase 1. Phase 1 is starting to pan out good. We have ideas for phase 2, and there's a lot of things to talk about in the future, sir.
That's good, man. You wanted to get anything out there first? Any topics you want to discuss, or you want to plug anything?
Yeah, for sure. If I would, what? Maybe for next plug, I have an idea. I would have to get the information. So that being said, no, not really. Oh yeah, please. If you did not had the time to watch, go listen to Janine the Machine's latest podcast. She does really good podcasts on just herself monologuing about the past, about the things she likes in Schmodown, and also another podcast where she talks with her friend about movies he hasn't seen, and she's showing him like black romantic movies. And he's a white guy from London, so he knows diddly shit about black romantic movies. And we talk about it. It is such a fun listen. I definitely want them to have a push because they really have good potential.
Oh yeah, that's interesting stuff.
All right. So, and you can find the link on Schmoes of the North, by the way.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug into your personal or just strictly Schmoes stuff?
For those who don't usually see it to the end of the show, I like to be left alone. If you want, definitely contact me directly. It might take some time, but I am on Twitter. We are on Twitter, I should say. Schmoes of the North. You can find us there. Message me, and when I can, I'll definitely write to you back if there's anything you want to reach out and maybe be part of Schmoes of the North. But directly on my side, I like my privacy.
That's good, man. I'm quite the opposite. I want everybody to talk to me, but yeah, that's good for you, man. Keep it up. It's hard not to be out there all the time, you know? That's for me speaking, man. So.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I'm very a sociable guy in general. I like meeting new people, but when it comes to online, is when I want to decompress. I don't know, man. I just like I say, friends are good. Alone time is better sometimes.
That's a good saying, man. Alone time is better. Oh man.
But so yeah, that's about it. Look, I'm gonna probably go very soon, Car. But again, thank you very much for the opportunity. This was actually, by the way, my first podcast ever.
Really?
So
surprised.
yeah.
You're very good at it.
Well, thank you, bro. It's appreciated. I did like the videos were my first videos. This podcast is my first podcast. I'm brand new at this. What drives me is my motivation to get involved with Schmodown and just to do something in my fucking life, you know?
Dude, you got to do all you can in this one life you have, right? So you might as well do what you want.
Aid to the men.
Yeah. But yeah, let me get into my plugs and then I'll send you off. You can follow me on Instagram at Guinto, Snapchat Trey. I'm on Facebook. This podcast is brought to you by Podbean, Guinto Show, the Guinto Show at Podbean.com. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. Yeah, and that's everything. Thank you, Louis, for doing this, and I'll talk to you soon, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. You take care, bro.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace, everyone. That's the end of the show. We'll see you next week. Thanks.